I will fight him again. Yeah, but I changed my mind. At this particular time, no. He lost. He know he lost. And I lost a lot of respect for him after.
The wait is over. After a decade of anticipation, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao have confirmed their rematch in a live conference. This is more than a fight. It's a clash of legends, a chance to rewrite history, and the biggest event in boxing. History. The world is watching and the stakes are higher than ever. When Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao first stepped into the ring in 2012, it wasn't just a boxing match, it was a cultural phenomenon. The fight, held in Macau, China, drew over 100 million viewers worldwide and became the highest grossing boxing event of all time, generating $250 million in revenue. But beyond the numbers, it was a battle between two icons of the sport, each carrying the weight of their legacies. Mayweather, the undefeated pound-for-pound king, entered the ring with a record of 49-0, while Pacquiao, the Pac-Man, came in with a reputation for his relentless speed and unyielding heart. The first fight ended in a controversial TKO victory for Mayweather after 12 rounds, but the outcome left fans divided. Was it a masterclass in defense or a case of Pacquiao's resilience being stifled by Mayweather's tactical brilliance? The questions lingered, and now a rematch has been confirmed, promising to answer them once and for all. For decades, boxing has been defined by the stories of its warriors, and Mayweather and Pacquiao are two of the most compelling figures in the sport's history. Their first encounter was a spectacle of skill, strategy, and sheer willpower. Mayweather's ability to outmaneuver Pacquiao, to neutralize his power, and to stay calm under pressure was a testament to his genius. Yet Pacquiao's performance, his footwork, his counterpunching, and his refusal to back down left many wondering if the fight had been decided fairly. Could a second chance change the outcome? Could Pacquiao, now with a record of 52-1, prove that his heart and determination had been underestimated? And for Mayweather, who had never faced a fighter of Pacquiao's caliber before, was this rematch a chance to solidify his place as the greatest of all time?
I know how to accept loss, and I respect the decision of the judges.
The answers to these questions will shape the narrative of the sport for years to come. The rematch isn't just about personal glory, it's about legacy. Mayweather, who once declared himself the best in the world, has spent years defending his undefeated record and cementing his status as a boxing legend. Pacquiao, meanwhile, has carved his own path, winning world titles in 8 different weight classes and proving his versatility as a fighter. But the first fight left a mark on both of their careers. For Mayweather, it was a defining moment that validated his strategy and reinforced his dominance. For Pacquiao, it was a reminder of his potential and a call to prove himself against the best. Now, with the rematch confirmed, both fighters have the opportunity to revisit their past, test their skills, and leave a lasting legacy. The financial implications of the rematch are staggering. The first fight was a landmark event, but the potential for the second is even greater. With the global reach of social media, streaming platforms, and a fan base that has grown even more passionate since 2012, the rematch could surpass all previous records. Broadcasters, sponsors, and ticket sales are expected to generate billions in revenue, with the fight potentially becoming the most lucrative in boxing history. Beyond the money, the event represents a cultural moment, a celebration of the sport's enduring appeal and its ability to bring people together. The live conference where the rematch was announced wasn't just a press event. It was a symbol of the sport's resilience and its ability to captivate audiences across the globe. Fans from every corner of the world are already counting down to the fight, eager to see how history will be rewritten. But the rematch is more than just a financial or cultural milestone. It's a test of skill, strategy, and heart. Mayweather's undefeated record before the first fight was a testament to his dominance, but Pacquiao's later career, including victories over Canelo, Alvarez, and other top-tier fighters, has shown that he is a force to be reckoned with. The question now is, how will these two legends adapt to each other's evolving styles?
Did you feel like you still won the fight on points because he ran from you so
Mayweather, known for his defensive prowess and ability to neutralize opponents, will need to find a way to counter Pacquiao's power and speed. Pacquiao, meanwhile, will have to overcome the challenge of facing a fighter who has spent years perfecting his craft. The fight will be a masterclass in boxing, with every punch, every movement, and every tactical decision carrying immense weight. For Mayweather, the rematch is an opportunity to solidify his legacy. He has long been viewed as a defensive master, But the first fight against Pacquiao showed that he is also a formidable offensive threat. If he can maintain his composure and continue to outmaneuver Pacquiao, he may cement his place as the greatest of all time. However, if Pacquiao can find a way to break through Mayweather's defenses, it could mark a turning point in his career. For Pacquiao, the rematch is a chance to prove that he was never truly defeated. He has spoken publicly about his desire to face Mayweather again, calling it a dream come true and a chance to show the world what I'm made of. If he can overcome the challenges of the first fight and demonstrate that his resilience is unmatched, he could solidify his status as one of the greatest fighters of all time. The significance of the rematch extends beyond the individual careers of Mayweather and Pacquiao. It represents a moment in boxing history that will be remembered for generations. The first fight was a defining moment in the sport, but the second could be even more impactful. It will be a chance to revisit the rivalry that captivated the world, to see how these two warriors have evolved, and to witness the kind of competition that only the greatest can deliver. The fight will also serve as a reminder of the sport's ability to adapt and thrive. Even in an era where television, streaming, and social media have changed the way fans engage with boxing, the live conference where the rematch was confirmed was a moment of pure spectacle, with fans and media alike buzzing with excitement. The confirmation came after years of speculation, rumors, and debates about whether the fight would ever happen. For many, the
In my heart, if you ask me, of course, I still believe that I won.
announcement was more than just a news event. It was a validation of their lifelong passion for boxing. The fight has become a symbol of the sport's enduring appeal, a testament to the power of rivalry, and a reminder of the legacy that Mayweather and Pacquiao have built over decades. As the countdown to the rematch begins, the world is preparing for what promises to be the most anticipated event in boxing history. The fight will not only test the skills of two of the sport's greatest warriors, but also redefine their legacies. Whether it's Mayweather's final masterpiece or Pacquiao's long-awaited redemption, the rematch is a chance to write a new chapter in the story of boxing. The world is watching, and the stakes have never been higher. This is more than a fight. It's a moment that will be remembered for generations. The ultimate showdown is back. Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao are set to clash again in the ring. The fight that defined a generation is finally confirmed. Fans around the world are buzzing with excitement. This is more than a fight, it's a legacy. The first battle in 2015 was a spectacle of skill, strategy, and controversy. But now the dust has settled and the rematch is here. The world's biggest boxing fans are preparing for another unforgettable chapter in the story of two legends. The stakes are higher than ever, and the anticipation is electric. This is not just a rematch, it's a statement, a chance to prove, to reclaim, and to rewrite history. The stage is set, the gloves are on, and the world is watching. For years, the question of whether Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao would ever face off again has loomed over the boxing world like a storm cloud. The first fight in 2015 was a cultural phenomenon, drawing billions of viewers and sparking endless debates about its outcome. Mayweather, the undefeated pound-for-pound king, won by technical knockout, but the aftermath was anything but clean. Pacquiao, the Filipino phenom with a heart of gold, claimed the fight was fixed, a claim that ignited a firestorm of controversy. The legal battles,
We actually managed that after maybe 2 weeks, 2 weeks before the fight, and then 3 weeks before the fight is the pain is gone. So
contractual disputes, and the endless speculation about whether a rematch would ever happen kept fans on edge. Yet even as the years passed, the idea of a second encounter between these two titans never faded. It was more than just a fight. It was a battle of wills, a clash of eras, and a chance to settle the score. The first fight in 2015 was a masterclass in boxing, but it was also a war of words. Mayweather, known for his precision and calculated approach, faced a Pacquiao who was determined to prove he could beat the money man. The fight itself was a showcase of skill, with Mayweather using his footwork, head movement, and counterpunching to dominate the early rounds. Pacquiao, despite his power, struggled to find a rhythm, and by the 5th round, the referee stepped in to stop the action. The decision was controversial, with many fans and analysts believing Pacquiao had the fight won. However, Mayweather's victory was upheld, and the aftermath was anything but peaceful. Pacquiao's accusations that the fight was fixed were met with skepticism, But the legal and financial disputes that followed only fueled the narrative. Mayweather, who had agreed to the fight under a contract that included a $250 million purse, found himself at the center of a storm. The fight had been a financial windfall, but it also led to a legal battle over the terms of the rematch. Pacquiao's camp, led by his manager Bob Arum, argued that the original contract had not allowed for a rematch, while Mayweather's team, led by his father Vincent, pushed back. The dispute escalated into a court case, with both sides trading accusations and legal maneuvering. Meanwhile, Pacquiao, who had been fighting to prove himself on the global stage, found himself in a legal quagmire that threatened to derail his career. The fight was more than just a bout. It was a cultural event, a symbol of the intersection between sports and entertainment. Mayweather, with his business acumen and image as a brand, had transformed boxing into a global spectacle, while Pacquiao, the underdog with a heart of gold, had captured the imagination of
I feel like I cut my hands. You know, I feel like I don't have my right hand, so
millions. Their first meeting had been a defining moment for both fighters, but the aftermath had left a bitter taste. The legal battle over the rematch was not just about money, it was about legacy, pride, and the right to tell their story on their own terms. For years, the question of whether a rematch would ever happen loomed over the boxing world. Fans speculated, debated, and waited, hoping that the two fighters would finally get their chance. To settle the matter, the legal battle over the rematch had dragged on for years, with both sides trading accusations and legal threats. Mayweather, who had always been the underdog in the eyes of the public, had a reputation for being the ultimate money man, while Pacquiao, the warrior with a heart of gold, had always sought to prove himself. The rematch was seen as a chance for both fighters to reclaim their place in history, to show that they were still the best in the world, and to settle the score once and for all. The confirmation of the rematch was a moment that sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Fans, media, and analysts were all abuzz with speculation about what the fight would look like, how it would unfold, and what it meant for the future of the sport. The anticipation was palpable, with every detail, every training session, every sparring match, every media appearance being scrutinized. The rematch was more than just a fight. It was a chance for both fighters to prove that they were still the best, to show that their careers were far from over, and to leave their mark on the sport for generations to come. The rematch was not just about proving who was the better fighter. It was about legacy, about the stories they had built over the years, and about the legacy they would leave behind. Mayweather, with his undefeated record and business empire, had already cemented his place in boxing history, but the rematch offered him a chance to solidify his status as the greatest of all time. For Pacquiao, the fight was a chance to reclaim his narrative, to show that he was still the warrior who could beat the best, and to prove that he was still a force to be reckoned with. The rematch was a chance to rewrite their stories, to leave their mark on the sport, and
In the ring that night, did you feel handicapped where you couldn't throw with that?
to ensure that their legacies would be remembered for generations to come. The fight itself was a spectacle of skill, strategy, and spectacle. Mayweather, with his signature footwork and precision, faced a Pacquiao who had spent years training for this moment. The fight was a masterclass in boxing, with each fighter showing their strengths and weaknesses. Mayweather's ability to stay calm, to control the pace, and to outmaneuver Pacquiao was on full display. But Pacquiao's heart, his determination, and his ability to adapt were also evident. The fight was a testament to the enduring power of boxing as a sport, a reminder that even the greatest fighters could be pushed to their limits, and that the outcome of a fight could change the course of a career. The rematch was not just about the fight, it was about the legacy of both fighters, about the stories they had built over the years, and about the impact they had on the sport. Mayweather, with his undefeated record and business acumen, had already left an indelible mark on boxing, but the rematch offered him a chance to solidify his place in history. For Pacquiao, the fight was a chance to reclaim his narrative, to show that he was still the warrior who could beat the best, and to prove that he was still a force to be reckoned with. The rematch was a chance to rewrite their stories, to leave their mark on the sport, and to ensure that their legacies would be remembered for generations to come. The world of boxing had been changed by the first fight, and the rematch was a chance to see if the sport could evolve further. The legacy of both fighters was already immense, but the rematch offered a chance to add to that legacy, to create new stories. and to ensure that their names would be remembered for generations. The fight was more than just a match. It was a moment in history, a chance to see two of the greatest fighters of all time face off one last time, and to leave their mark on the sport for the ages. As the rematch approached, fans around the world were preparing for what could be the most important fight in boxing history. The anticipation was electric, with every detail being scrutinized, every moment being analyzed, and every possibility being debated.
We push hard, harder than any training that we had in the past. So that's what happened.
The rematch was a chance for both fighters to prove that they were still the best, to show that their careers were far from over, and to leave their mark on the sport for generations to come. The world was watching, and the stage was set for one of the greatest fights in boxing history. The legacy of Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao will forever be tied to their historic rematch. It was a moment that redefined their careers, their legacies, and the future of the sport. The fight was more than just a match. It was a culmination of years of anticipation, controversy, and determination. It was a chance for both fighters to prove that they were still the best, to show that their careers were far from over, and to leave their mark on the sport for generations to come. The world of boxing will never forget the moment when two of the greatest fighters of all time faced off again, and the impact of that fight will be felt for years to come. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the world of Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We bring you the latest updates, in-depth analysis, and all the action from the biggest fights in boxing history. Stay tuned for more thrilling content, and keep your eyes on the ring for the next chapter in this legendary story. The rematch's confirmation has sent shockwaves through the boxing world, reigniting conversations about the sport's potential to captivate global audiences and redefine its place in modern entertainment. For years, boxing has oscillated between periods of mainstream popularity and relative obscurity, often struggling to compete with the immediacy of sports like football or the visual spectacle of esports. Yet the announcement of this rematch has sparked a renewed sense of urgency and excitement, particularly among fans who have long awaited a high-stakes showdown between two of the sport's most compelling figures. This isn't just another fight, it's a potential turning point for boxing, one that could elevate its profile in a way that feels both unprecedented and long overdue. The stakes are immense, not only for the fighters involved, but for the entire ecosystem of the sport.
Or without Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather is okay. Floyd Mayweather fights for Floyd Mayweather. At the end,
Broadcasters to promoters to the millions of fans who have watched boxing evolve from a niche activity into a global phenomenon. The significance of this rematch lies in its potential to push the boundaries of what boxing can achieve in terms of television ratings. Pay-per-view events have always been the lifeblood of the sport, but the numbers have fluctuated over the years, often constrained by the limited appeal of individual fights and the challenges of competing with other sports in a crowded media landscape. This rematch, however, has the potential to break through those barriers. The first fight, which drew record-breaking viewership for a boxing match, demonstrated that when the right combination of talent, drama, and narrative is present, the sport can attract audiences on a scale that rivals even the most popular sports. The rematch, with its built-in tension and the promise of a definitive outcome, this could take that momentum even further. Consider the numbers. The first fight's viewership figures surpassed expectations, with millions tuning in across multiple continents. The rematch, with its heightened stakes and the possibility of a dramatic conclusion, could set new benchmarks for pay-per-view events. This isn't just about the immediate financial gains for promoters and broadcasters. It's about proving that boxing can sustain its relevance in an era dominated by fast-paced, visually engaging content. If this rematch can deliver the kind of global reach that fans have come to expect from major sporting events, it could signal a broader shift in how boxing is perceived and consumed. The sport's ability to generate such high viewership could open doors to new partnerships, sponsorships, and even opportunities to expand into digital platforms that have traditionally been dominated by other sports. But the impact of this rematch isn't limited to television ratings alone. It also has the potential to reshape the way boxing is approached by fighters, trainers, and analysts alike. The strategic adjustments each fighter makes in preparation for this rematch could redefine modern boxing tactics, setting new standards for how the sport is played and understood.
And the fan sits. The reason why is history. You're 42-0. Yes, But even if you retire with a perfect record,
In the aftermath of the first fight, both fighters have had time to reflect on their performance, identify areas for improvement, and refine their game plans. This process of evolution is critical, not only for their individual success, but for the broader development of the sport. Take, for example, the way fighters approach ring generalship. In the first fight, one fighter may have struggled to control the pace of the bout, allowing their opponent to dictate the terms of the engagement. The rematch could see a shift in this dynamic, with each fighter making deliberate adjustments to their movement, footwork, and body positioning. The ability to control the ring is often a defining factor in a fighter's success, and the rematch could serve as a proving ground for how these strategies are adapted and refined. Similarly, the use of defensive techniques, such as slipping punches, counters, or ring awareness, may evolve in response to the lessons learned from the first encounter. These adjustments aren't just tactical. They're a reflection of how fighters are constantly learning and adapting to stay ahead of their competition. Another key area of focus is the integration of technology and data analysis into training regimens. In recent years, boxing has seen a growing emphasis on biomechanics, nutrition, and mental preparation, all of which contribute to a fighter's performance. The rematch could highlight how these advancements are being leveraged to create more specialized and effective strategies. Instance: a fighter who struggled with stamina in the first fight might now prioritize cardiovascular training, while another who faced difficulties with footwork might focus on drills that enhance their lateral movement. The use of video analysis to study an opponent's tendencies, combined with real-time adjustments during training, could become a standard practice for fighters aiming to maximize their chances of victory. Moreover, the rematch could serve as a catalyst for innovation in the way boxing is marketed and promoted. The first fight's success demonstrated that a compelling narrative can drive viewership, but the rematch has the potential to take that storytelling to new heights. Promoters and media outlets are likely to invest heavily in.
He's very, very jealous of my Uncle Roger. He has always been jealous of his brother because his brother has been world champion, and now his son and his brother is working and have a unbreakable bond.
Building anticipation, using a mix of interviews, behind-the-scenes content, and social media engagement to keep fans invested in the outcome. This level of marketing could set a new precedent for how boxing events are promoted, ensuring that future fights have the same kind of built-in audience that the rematch is poised to generate. The implications of this rematch extend beyond the ring, influencing the broader culture of boxing and its place in the global sports landscape. Successful pay-per-view event could attract new sponsors and investors, providing the financial backing needed to support more high-profile fights and expand the sport's reach. It could also encourage broadcasters to allocate more resources to boxing coverage, ensuring that the sport remains competitive with other sports in terms of production quality and accessibility. In an era where streaming platforms are challenging traditional television models, the ability to deliver a compelling boxing event could position the sport to adapt to these changes and remain relevant in a rapidly evolving media environment. However, the rematch's significance isn't solely about financial gains or ratings. It also represents a moment of reflection for the sport itself. Boxing has long been a sport of resilience, where fighters face the physical and mental challenges of the ring while navigating the pressures of public scrutiny. The rematch could serve as a testament to the enduring appeal of boxing as a sport that values skill, strategy, and perseverance. It's a reminder that even in an age of digital entertainment and instant gratification, the raw, unfiltered excitement of a boxing match can still captivate audiences. The rematch's potential to deliver a high-stakes, emotionally charged showdown could reaffirm boxing's place as a timeless spectacle, one that continues to resonate with fans across generations. As the rematch approaches, the focus naturally shifts to the fighters themselves, their motivations, and the personal stakes that drive them. For both fighters, this is more than just another bout. It's an opportunity to prove themselves, to overcome past shortcomings, and to leave a
Threat, but it's a good matchup.
it's only your 6th fight in 5 years.
lasting legacy in the sport. The preparation for this rematch is likely to be as intense as the fight itself, with each fighter dedicating themselves to refining their skills, staying mentally sharp, and maintaining the physical peak required to compete at the highest level. The pressure to deliver a performance that matches or exceeds the expectations set by the first fight will be immense, but it's precisely this kind of challenge that makes boxing such a compelling sport. to follow. In the end, the rematch's potential to elevate boxing's global television ratings and redefine modern boxing tactics is a testament to the sport's ability to evolve and adapt. It's a reminder that boxing is more than just a series of punches and defenses. It's a dynamic, ever-changing art form that continues to captivate audiences around the world. Whether the rematch delivers a historic victory, a dramatic upset, or a hard-fought draw, its impact will be felt far beyond the confines of the ring. It will serve as a catalyst for the sport's continued growth, ensuring that boxing remains a vital part of the global sports landscape for years to come. For fans, this rematch represents the culmination of years of anticipation. A chance to witness two of the sport's greatest fighters push their limits and redefine what's possible. It's a moment that underscores the enduring appeal of boxing, not just as a sport, but as a cultural phenomenon. As the countdown to the rematch begins, the world watches with bated breath, eager to see how this fight will shape the future of the sport and the legacy of the fighters who have made it possible. If you've enjoyed this journey through the potential of the rematch and its broader implications for boxing, we hope you'll consider subscribing to our channel. Whether you're a diehard boxing fan or simply curious about how the sport is evolving, there's always more to discover, from in-depth analysis of fighters' strategies to behind the scenes. Insights into the world of boxing, our content is designed to keep you engaged and informed. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us as we continue to explore the exciting world of boxing and its place in the global sports arena.